Greetings survivors and friends, SHADOWFRAX here with your weekly Rust News Pie, and how are you finding the Arctic update? Have you recovered from all the excitement yet? How many times have you been mauled to death, or worse, by a cuddly, waddly polar bear? Well, now that particular development chapter's come to an end pretty much, we're once again faced with thinking about the future and what comes next. So here's me doing my best to give you that all-important heads up. But first, as always, a reminder to grab a free subscription and get yourself firmly into that ring-a-ding-ding club. So we're going to go straight to works in progress first this time, because that's where the next round of excitement's currently waiting to jump out at us. And when scanning the commits, two things made my ears prick up instantly. The first is a branch called Pets, and apparently this is exactly what it sounds like. Work's begun to explore a permanent in-game pet, building on the system used for Frank from last year. As for the rest of the details, your guesses are as good as mine right now. Will we be able to tame a variety of things? Wolves are obvious, bears maybe too, but what about sharks? Might we be able to ride them? Will the emotional support ball become a reality? Will we be able to have more than one pet at a time? If so, what about herds of killer chickens? Imagine the raids. Personally, I'd have a pet scientist or two. Oh, he's so cute. Can we keep him? Stay tuned for more on this and tell me what you think below. The next really interesting commit was this one, as a new branch has been started called Rail Network, although it comes with a caveat straight out of the station. Maybe it'll be a rail not work instead. I'm assuming lots of stuff here as details are Spartan, but this looks like work to make a procedural above-ground rail network happen, because there's still way too much usable land out there and we need more no-build zones, damn it! Joking aside, I think this has been the plan for a long time, and the subway was just a much easier way around it because it could all happen on a separate layer. Of course, there have been above-ground rail networks for a while on custom maps. It's easy to make that sort of thing happen there, and I've shown a few on this channel, but procedurally, I imagine it's a right pain in the arse because you need to make it work around the roads and whatever else is there. However, here we are, and the team look like they're going to give it a go. Not sure if the plan's to link it up to the rails at monuments, or at least get somewhere close. Perhaps if it works, it'll get linked up to the underground too. This is all just speculation, of course, and I might be wrong, and it might even get abandoned. More details on this as they emerge. In other news, work to bring in the other functions for spray cans, such as decals and free spraying's ongoing, and after they were introduced in this latest patch, a new meta emerged almost instantly, as I kind of thought it would. If you can get cupboard auth in a raid, then you can simply reskin doors to ones with windows in, and find out which ones are worth blowing off and which aren't. Enjoy it while you can though, as this is being changed, so you won't be able to do it if you can't open the door due to a lock. Boo-hoo. There are a few tweaks going on to snowmobiles, firstly to adjust the first-person viewing angles, and also to add front and rear lights to the makeshift pound stretcher version. The snowy edges of lakes will no longer be considered as ice by cars and snowmobiles, but icebergs, which were considered as ice, now behave as snow, as they are quite snowy on top. Because of course. There was a fix for hearing phantom footsteps when a player's out of line of sight, which was a culling issue. New achievements are coming, including killing sharks with spears, killing players with Rockety McRocketface, activating the excavator, riding a submarine, reeing over 180 decibels in voice chat, and going for half an hour without being killed by a hacker. The loading screen is apparently subject to change, and a new one's coming this month. Just a UI update, I think, so nothing too exciting. And finally, an always sprint options being added to save your pinky finger, or if you're really weird, your thumb. If enabled, sprint key behavior will be inverted, which means you will sprint by default, and holding the sprint key will return you to walk speed. I think I'll start calling this the Forrest Gump option, and I think it'll be popular. I just felt like running. Tell me what you think below. That's the news. Leave a like if you want, and follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, and my Steam group. You can support me directly, as always, either through YouTube memberships, Patreon, or via my merch store. All the links are below. I shall catch you all soon, but in the meantime, keep calm and stay rusty. Cheerio. This video is powered by AWDIT's producer range of workstation PCs, available now at awdit.co.uk. I just felt like running.